are listening to Up to Me Radio, the best in inspirational talk radio. It's up to me.
Welcome to the Kathy Hood Show. Are you ready to unleash your power? We've got another power-packed show where we encourage, empower, and equip you to prosper. It's time to discover your God-given purpose and advance your life by unleashing the power from within to impact the world. Your gifts are not in front of you. They are trapped on the inside of you. But have no fear. I'm here to help you realize your true potential and set it free. Get ready for your dose of discovery, divine intervention, and impartation. Are you ready? Let's go. Okay, everybody. Today's episode is sponsored by Sparlin Healthcare. You don't have to live in pain. Sparlin Healthcare services patients for chiropractic care and spinal correction, to serious accidents, to neck and back injury, to family medical and disease prevention. To learn more about them, please visit www.sparlinhealthcare.com. Here's a minute with the doc.
Hi, I'm Dr. Alyssa Jordan, and I'm a chiropractor based in Atlanta, Georgia. Many of you have been to a chiropractor after an accident or a bad fall. Did you know it can be used as a tool for preventative care as well? How, you might ask? Chiropractors take care of the nervous system, which is covered by the spine and made of the brain, spinal cord, and the nerves. The nerves branch off of the spinal cord and attach to all of your organs, muscles, etc. When spinal segments shift out of alignment, they put pressure on the nerves, which lead to pain, dysfunction, or both in your body. This can cause less function in your immune system, along with other issues. Chiropractors can align the spine to take pressure off the nerves and increase function again. To get your spinal assessment, call Sparlin Healthcare at 404-753-3141 or direct message me on my Instagram page at Dr. Alyssa Jordan. That's spelled Dr.ALYSAJORDAN.
Okay. All right now, hey everyone. You know I'm always excited about joining you for every show night. But tonight's show is special because my guest, she gets me, guys. I mean, she understands me, how I tick, how I operate, the things I like. I love it. We share a love of the gifts. We love people, and we want them to find their gifts, so which we call our superpowers. And we have so much more in common. We have great times together. I promise this is going to be a very insightful and joyful conversation, which I hope will encourage you to take the next steps in discovering your gifts. I am your gift coach and have been sharing that ever since my show began, guys. You know, that you need to discover your God-given gifts, which is how you will start the process of unleashing your power into the earth so that you can claim life. All right? It is my duty to empower, encourage, and equip people to discover their gifts and how to live their lives on purpose. It's who I am and will be until the day of his coming. Guys, you know who that he is. I'm going to say until the day of Jesus' return, right? Okay, discovery of gifts not only help you discover your true identity, but help you find your place in this world. In previous shows, we have shared amazing stories on how the gifts have helped people in so many ways, how it's changed their lives, and so much more. Please visit my show page and listen to the first 8 episodes. They will bless your life. I mean, the stories are amazing, and we are still talking about, you know, how to unleash your power into the earth, all right? The big talk, though, lately has been COVID-19, the pandemic. And my question has been, when this pandemic is over, where will you be? I'm going to give you the answer. You're going to be elevated to higher heights, and you will no longer be wandering in the wilderness. But there are some things that you have to do. And one of the main things is discovering your gifts. All right. So it's time to claim your life and become all that you've ever dreamed of. I want you to embrace your gifts and begin to be comfortable in who you are and what you've been called to do. This episode, which I'm calling Nobody Can Be That Happy, which is part of my Take Authority and Unleash Your Power series, where I am diving a little bit more into the gifts, explaining how to get you to recognizing why you act and think the way that you do, why people say the things that they say about you, how you interact with people that you live, work, serve, and play with. With that being said, my friends, help me welcome to the show my beautiful sister, God sister, inside and out, the one and only Kimberly Massey, founder of Claim Life, a coaching and speaking business. Hi, Kim. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Kathy. I almost overtalked you. I got so excited listening to every word that you shared. Made me want to learn and relearn the gifts over and over again. So I'm excited. Thank you for having me on the show.
You are so welcome, girl. So no. That's what we love about this show. That, you know, we don't X out any bloopers. I mean, unless it's just ridiculously crazy, you know, but just to let people know, I mean, we're perfectly imperfect. You know what I mean?
Beautiful. Yes.
We're perfectly imperfect. And so people can get with us having some imperfect times. Okay.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Because they're going to get it with me a lot. All right. So
me too.
As I am. All right. Look,
yep.
So you ready to give them some great nuggets to get them excited about finding who they really are?
Absolutely. I'm ready to share. I'm ready to receive as well, because I know this is not a one-way street in this environment with you. You and I have shared many stages, platforms, seats,
yes,
chairs, shoulder to shoulder together. And to be on your show, to just be me, is an honor.
That's it. And that's what I want, girl. That's what I love. First, okay, before we get started, before we dig in, I want you to tell the listening audience a little bit about yourself and about Claim Life.
Okay, thank you, Kathy. Again, like Kathy already said, my name is Kim Massey, and I am the founder and CEO of Claim Life, which is a coaching and speaking business. I originally started my career in insurance, right? So I'm just going to tell you a little bit about how Claim Life came to be, is that I've been working in claims since 1994. And claim services is what I do, but I learned along my journey that claim services is not who I am. It is something that I've been taught to do. It's a function that I enjoy because it helps, it allows me to help people, which is a passion of mine. But I knew that in that field only, I was limited to what I was trained to do there and was not using the full potential of the gifts that God had given me. I didn't even know what all my gifts were at that time, right, but I knew something in me wasn't being used. And so I took this journey, and Kathy knows the journey, and I'll let her ask the questions about the how and the why. But Claim Life, part of it came from claim services, and part of it came from the life coaching piece that I began to explore just a few short years ago. And I married those two words together because I want not just claim services to be a part of my world. I want to help other individuals claim their life and not just allow life to happen to them. I want to empower and encourage them to execute it so that they can get the best out of it and they can give the best to it so that it helps others. So that's just a little bit about how Claim Life was birthed. And if, more questions about me, I can add that, but really Claim Life is my baby that I'm excited to share.
Hey guys, yes, no, that was wonderful, wonderful. So I do want to, give a little shout out to Woman University. Woo woo, girl. Woo woo. Look, so that takes me into my next question, because how we met, our gifts met first. I love to say that because that's exactly when I remember and think back to when we met, our gifts met first. Do you agree?
Absolutely. And I didn't know it at the time. You may have, I didn't. that they hooked and synced, and I was hanging on, chomping at the bit of your words, like, I got to talk to her. And it happened immediately.
So let's talk a little bit about just how we met. And so I don't even remember the date. I don't even remember what I was saying, okay? Because at that point, I didn't know how much of what they wanted us to share. So it was like at the spirit of the moment, I said, Holy Spirit, you're going to have to speak. And so he did. And so Kathy don't know what was said until you share and tell me, other than the after I was done and we linked arms and walked away, walked away together to really continue and make sure that we continue that connection that was made that night. So tell me a little bit about that experience when you really...
Absolutely, Kathy. Thank you. It was just a couple short years ago. We're talking about 2018. And it was March, because this was such an unforgettable time for me. I didn't know it at the time, but my spirit knew. It was something great about that evening. I attended a women's empowerment sort of gathering, and
Right.
Kathy was one of the speakers. And she was sharing about her journey personally and her Woman University birthing of this beautiful, and I dare call it just a coaching business. It's so much more. It's just a becoming experience that she shared, and it resonated with me. It sat in my spirit like none other, because although our stories may be different in life, the path that I was on at the time jived completely with what Kathy was sharing about who she is, how she started to learn about her gifts and become, and how she was dead set on making sure others that encountered her would walk away better, learning about themselves as well. So as she spoke, I nodded at every word and waited till she finished patiently, and I approached. And it wasn't to suck from her, it was to glean from her, because I knew she had some gifts and talents and connections to things that would benefit my life, and that I felt would allow us both to just, maybe, I didn't know if it would be a forever uniting, but I knew that it was purposed. So again, we truly linked hands, arms. I think I might have grabbed hers, and she didn't know what she was holding on to.
I might have just grabbed you, knowing me, girl.
Well, it might have been mutual, but we walked across the room. You took me over to a table and you engaged with me. So open, not guarded, very transparent, and just authentic. I love real, genuine people. And Kathy, from the rip, even the way she talked was just opening and inviting. And you could tell it was not put on, and it was not for purpose of, let me get this money. It wasn't about that. It was about, let's connect with who I'm here for and help them get where they're supposed to go. And that was the beginning of my journey, because I believe it was the very next day that I attended Woman University orientation. Yep. And the rest is Woman U history.
All right. Oh, I love it, girl. I love it. I love when she tells the story, guys. I mean, it is amazing. And we've been together ever since. And and so just those characteristics of things that you just described, how you were describing me and how you were describing how we interacted, is really about the gifts that we're going to talk about tonight, which is the exhorter. That's what exhorters do, And so we're very transparent. That's my number one gift. So I'm not going to get ahead of everything, but I just say, being an exhorter is amazing. Once you find out what your gifts are, it really will just catapult you to another level. So tell me, do you feel like that finding out your gifts have catapulted you to another level in your life?
That goes without saying. It goes without saying. And, finding or discovering, I should say, my gifts, because I believe, like you said, and like you taught us, that they were already in there. I may not have known the title or, the definition even. I just knew that I had these certain things. I was like, I just want to help people. I couldn't explain it. It sounded so generic when I would say it. And I just couldn't put it to words. But the Woman U journey helped me discover more and understand more of who I am, whose I am, why he created me like this. Why does it jive with some people? Why does it not jive with others? And being okay with it, right? So the gifts was just like lifting a window shade and being able to see the sun or feel the sun on your face and accepting it, knowing that it's good for you. That even with some of the, I don't even want to call them flaws, with some of the areas of challenge that's still part of your gifting, and you can overcome them or you can learn to manage them. But just accepting who you are and standing in your gifting will make life that much more pleasurable and purposeful and impactful, because you'll use your gifts to do what you're called and what you were designed to do. So it was a discovery like none other.
So I guess it would still be going with what's the phrase? You just said it. It just goes without saying that discovering your gifts just has really made a big difference in your life.
Absolutely. It changed how I approach life, the intention that I approach life with and that I execute with. Is every day perfect and glorious? No. I still sometimes fall back into habits that I know I need to shake off, but I shake them off so much quicker. I go back and I read again about who I am and remind myself, and I speak to myself, I affirm myself, and I'm okay with me. And then it just encourages me to be okay with others, because everyone functions a little differently. That's but right. It allowed me to be more accepting and less judgmental, and helping others just move and navigate in their path if I'm the one for them. And if I'm not, I'm okay with that too.
That's right. And you know what, so that leads into, can and do you recognize when you're operating in your top 3 gifts?
Kathy, I don't know how I operated before now. It's just like, it makes me go, was I just like aimlessly feeling around in the dark?
We are walking in the wilderness, just like, and just this pop up. Oh, okay. All right. This is good. We'll go this way. Oh no. Then that dwindles away. Then, this pops up. Oh, okay. We'll do this again. No, we were walking around here aimlessly. You just said it. That's why I love talking to you, Kim.
I love our conversation. And this is how we talked that night. Like our energy just kept going, because I didn't know my gifts then, but I knew it was something connecting me to this woman here. And I said, I cannot leave her presence without exchanging or connecting or collecting her information so I can keep going. Right. So it's an eye opener. It's an eye opener. And it just makes you be that much, function that much more organically, authentically. It allows you to say no to something and be okay.
Okay. What are the top 3 gifts, Kim?
My top is compassion. My number 2 is exhorter. And my number 3 is giver.
Right. And so guys, the reason why I know her compassion is number 1, but Kim operates so strong in her exhorter that I'm like, she's just perfect for this interview, for this part of the series, talking about the exhorter gift, because, and that's why I say, you recognize now when you're operating in those gifts. When you're being compassionate, okay, well, maybe I'm being a little bit too sensitive right now, or maybe I'm trying to, she's hurting, here I am, jumping in to try to help and save somebody. But you know how y'all compassion people do.
We do. We do.
Don't get that wrong. I love my compassion people. But a lot of times we have to check y'all, be like, girl, come on back.
Absolutely. And the beauty of learning your gifts, you learn to check you a lot quicker. You don't go as far down the rabbit hole. And you go, wait a minute, this isn't being received. I don't need to use this here. You may not say the word, but you'll stop yourself and you'll be okay. It's almost like you take ease and go, okay, I understand. And then you just either stand down or you shift gears, because then you learn how to say, you know what, this doesn't require my compassion. This requires me to maybe cheer them on, be a little bit of an encourager, and step away. Right?
You step into that exhorter, baby. Now, because that's my number 1 gift, everybody.
Yes, it is.
Exhorter,
absolutely.
I am 100. I am 100. That's why I am doing what I'm doing. And so that's why, I instantly recognize that in Kim as she began to, as we began to communicate. So, because we're great communicators. So how about recognizing other people's gifts? You understanding your gifts and understanding the gifts. And it helps you to understand other people's gifts, especially your family.
Absolutely. It is an eye-opener. It does not make me psychoanalyze them. It allows me to understand.
That's right.
And boy, awareness is key. When you understand, you may not like what you understand.
Right.
But you learn to accept it. And
it makes life so much better when you do that.
Absolutely. There's no question. And then you can communicate with them better. They may receive what you're saying, they may not, but you're okay because you understand. Understanding is key. And so I just have to say, my husband, he has not taken the test yet. And it's not that he's refusing. I really haven't sat down with him, but I see his gifts, right? And I understand him better. I see that he's a server, and I believe that's his number one. And I don't function in that regard very often. Not that I don't, but I understand it, and I've learned to respect it.
That's it.
Yes, ma'am.
That's it. Because let me tell you, that's the one thing I can say. That's why I love for married people to take this test. People, and I definitely recommend it for anybody who's thinking about getting married.
Absolutely.
Because when I tell you, it would definitely save you a lot of heartache and a lot of time and a lot of bickering and fighting and arguing and being mad and struggling. And girl, I can go on and on. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Go straight down the list. But it would definitely help you to understand your spouse, and it'll definitely save you a whole lot of time of wasting. Keep you from wasting
misdirected energy. You'll learn to make that thing, because you honestly, and when couples tend to be a little opposite of one another, they may have a gift similar, but most times it's a beautiful balance.
Opposites attract. And so again, I've done the story. Me and my husband's been on here. And we talked about, him being compassionate, and girl, me being exhorter and perceiver. That is not, it's a great combination, but it's not a great combination at sometimes. And so
it's a very high level combination.
Girl. So, I had to be the one. I'm so glad that God taught me about these gifts, that he brought it to me and allowed me to go and to be taught how to teach it and to understand it first for myself. That's what I did. And then to learn it, to teach it to other people. So it's definitely amazing, because it really, get you in check. So as I mentioned earlier, that I'm doing a series, and that's Take Authority and Unleash Your Power. All right. So that's the series that we're doing. And so the only way that people can take authority, and because you can't just walk in somebody else's house or walk in somebody else's shoes and take authority.
Right.
You got to take authority in your own pair of shoes. You got to take authority in your own skin. You have to take authority, in the thing that you've been called to do. And unless you discover what that is, there's no way you're going to be able to take authority and unleash your gift into the world to become who and do what you've been called to do. So
100%.
I'm sorry, say that again.
I say you're 100% correct.
Yes. So let's talk about the exhorter gift. This is one of the ones I love, love, love. I just love the gifts. First of all, it's because just like I explained in the last episode, that everybody has a gift. There are some people walking around feeling like that they don't have it. Yeah, you do. Nobody's never taught you about it. Nobody's never nurtured it. Nobody's ever awakened it. But guess what? People they are operating in it to some extent, but because they're not aware of it, so it's not in the forefront. They're
not maximizing it. They're not respecting
it.
Yeah.
They're not respecting it.
Right. It's like trying to drive a car without having any training. It's like I could get in here and figure out that, the R means reverse. But if I haven't read about it, understood it, and figured it, I'm not going to operate efficiently. And that's what it boils down to.
Yeah, that's good. That's good stuff. So, it's sad. It's sad. And I've been trying to teach people about this for years. And it used to frustrate me so bad that people didn't think it was important. But now, you have some of these famous people talking about it. They think now it means something. I'll be like, what? Anyway, don't get me on that soapbox, honey, because I would dance all night. Okay. So I won't even go there, but when it's little on me, now it's little on us, teaching people about it. But the ladies who've gone through the program, we've actually seen them change right before our eyes.
Absolutely.
And it's amazing because they step into who they really are. They embrace who they really are. They begin to get comfortable. They become comfortable operating authentically in who they are. And that's when true success happens.
Yes, that's when they're able to be joyful as well. Yes. And for those who had been trying to be like so-and-so, like they might look at such and such and say, well, she's got this or she's got, and you realize that the way she got, or maybe you don't realize, but you learn that the way she got some of the things that she obtained, or he, is that you don't really want to sacrifice what they maybe had to sacrifice. So know that your gifts are just as special. We all carry a measure of them all.
That's
and
right.
It's just a few that stand up in us that we operate in on a regular basis, but
and
understanding them and moving forward in them will empower you to just be greater every day.
That's right. And those, the ones that we stand up in, is because those are the ones that God needs us to operate in to get to accomplish the assignment that he has given us here on the earth. All
Absolutely.
right. So one of the characteristics is, this is what I love, because it makes me why I'm on 10. You know, when people meet me, girl, I'm like, hey, you know, and people want to know, can she really be that happy? You know, that's
Yes.
what I say, can you be that happy? Yes, you can. You know, people used to say, girl, how do you do that? I'm like, do what? Because it's so natural for an exhorter to just be very happy, positive, and approachable.
Yes.
That's the first set of characteristics I want to talk about us just being very happy, very positive people. And that's what make it so easy for people to approach us.
Absolutely. And even for those who don't understand it, and others will go, you know, why is she always so happy? She can be good. And some appreciate it and will gravitate towards it. But those who don't understand it will think it's put on and that it's not genuine. But if they're around you enough, they'll realize that thing don't change. Now, you know, everyone has a bad day, or a day where they're not just as high as they are on other days. But when you know your gifts, that's the key why we really push people being educated in them, is that you will desire to show up in that space of your gifts on a regular basis, because it does give you that joy. Even the server, even the teacher, all of those gifts, when they're functioning in their sweet spot, there's joy that comes with that. And an exhorter does that by encouraging. An exhorter uses their mouth to encourage others. It's a gift. And it's no dig to the other gifts, but it is just a strength. And if we didn't have the mouth, we'd be frustrated.
Now, I'm going to tell you, I'm one of the ones, before my exhorter was awakened, before somebody tapped into it, I was one of those ones be like, that can't be real. You know, when I first ran into it, and I didn't know the gifts. I was in my early 20s, honey. You know, so y'all know I'm well up above 20 right about now.
Yes, you're a mature woman.
Yes. So
we are.
Yeah. So I was like, nobody can be that nice. Nobody can be that happy. Yes, you can. You can be that happy. So we are very approachable. People don't like it because a lot of times, you know, they know that it draws other people to us when they want that same type of response from other people. So that's why I wanted to share that with people who are able to have great relationships with other people. Don't feel bad. Don't let nobody else make you feel bad about you being able to connect with people really well. And we are very social. We are very social. And my gift is so funny because the exhorter says that I'm very social, but then my perceiver says I'm a loner. You know, I don't have too many friends. And so that is so true. When I'm out, when I'm with you, hey, it's good. We're popping. Hey, people. Hey, friends. Hey, family. Yeah, all of that. But when it's time, when I'm going home, I don't want nobody coming to my house not with me. You know, I want to do and relax. But the next one is the one thing that you did say, we love to encourage others.
Yes.
And so that's one of the things I know that you do, because you do your Tuesday night lives or your lives whenever you feel like it.
Yes. It has to come out. And if I don't get it out, I feel bound.
Yeah.
And everybody, you know, all encouragers or exhorters may do it differently. Some you may find in the pulpit. Some you may find on the street doing evangelism. Some you may just find in a classroom or with a group of friends. But you'll know an encourager when you see one, an exhorter. I'll say exhorter because that is the proper name, but they encourage. And it is seen, honestly, it's often seen in childhood. And I wasn't aware of it. I had a friend, a quick story, bring it to my attention. To me, we're miles apart. She lives in Michigan, where I'm from, and I'm here. And I posted something, and she said, Kim, you know, you still encourage. And just like you did when we played basketball together in high school, you used to tell me, and she reminded me what I said to her, how I encouraged her. She was a couple years behind me. I was like, come on, let's go. I said, quitter never, you know, a winner never quits, and a quitter never, you know, never wins.
Right, quitter never wins, right.
I didn't know my gift was talking and speaking for me at 16, and here I am at 48, still using her, but using her with intention now. So it will come. You'll use it when you don't know and you're unaware, but it is magnified when you are aware and you're using it in the right environments and at the right time.
That's right. And we're that personal cheerleader, girl. It's so funny because I was a cheerleader all through high school, girl. It's so funny.
I didn't know that.
Right, so it makes it, yes, I was a cheerleader, girl, captain. Girl, showed out. But it all came because every time you turn around, I was bringing the girls together. Just always encouraging them. Let's that, building camaraderie, bringing everybody together so we can connect, so we can bond. And we always had such a great team. And so, I still do that today.
Yes, you do.
I'm not a cheerleader, but
yes, you are. You're just not wearing a little skirt right now.
Right. And no pom-poms, okay?
Right.
But, another thing about us, we want visible response when teaching or speaking. We love that nod. Let us know you're listening, because if you acting like you're not paying us any attention when we're talking, we'll be like, later for you. If you're not interested in what I'm saying, don't waste my time, don't waste my breath. This is not for you at this time.
Absolutely. And I want to say this. We look for acknowledgement or understanding or reception. Someone's receiving it because we feel like it has value, and it's not selfish. It's not like, see me. No.
Right.
I'm saying something because we don't just talk about nothing. If we're going to say something, it has a purpose. It has an expected end. Like, we want it to have an outcome. Even if you don't have the outcome immediately, we want to plant a seed. And usually someone will acknowledge it by smiling. They may nod. They may engage in conversation. Whatever that looks like for the exhorter, they do need to know that it's being received. And if it's not, we're okay with that. Like you said, we will shut it down and move on to the person that is for. And that's the beauty of the encourager, is that they are willing to share it.
That's awesome. So also exhorters are how-to people. When we give, first of all, one of the things and I didn't know that I love this, but I do it because it's natural. And that is, to do personal counseling. And it wasn't that I didn't feel like that, that's something that I love to do. It's just something that I did naturally. And so when people would say that, I'm like, no, I don't. I don't want to do that. It just wasn't called personal counseling to me. It was me giving you some advice and telling you, but not only just giving you some advice, giving you some how-tos, because you're going to leave our presence with some precise steps. 1, 2, 3, you can do this, you can do that, you can do this. So we're not going to just give it to you and be like, girl, go on and handle it by yourself. No, you're going to walk away with some how-tos, because to me, it's almost like there's no reason for us to talk and me give you some information not tell you how to get it done, because that's what most people miss. That's the main step that people normally miss.
Absolutely, Kathy. While you were sharing that, I'm over here going, I've done that forever, and I didn't know that was a characteristic, that was a strength, like that was a necessary or just a component of what the encourager does. Like, I can give you words all day, but then I'm gonna definitely say, here's how. Like, we love logic. It needs to be digestible. It needs to be doable. So we don't want it to make it sound like this mystical great thing to do something, but not give you the tools in which to do it. And you do it and work it the way you want, but we're going to at least give you some guidance. Step 1, do this. Step 2, and it's helpful for those who are willing to receive it. It's super helpful.
That's it. So, just so we can keep it moving, because, girl, we can get into some conversation.
We can do it.
Girl, I mean, ladies and gentlemen, we can spend all night talking to you guys about this stuff, but we won't do that to you. But in the next episode, so make sure you return. So, but another thing I do want to share, though, and I may just clump these together, is like, we are great communicators. I didn't realize that my family tells me, when I read that exhorters talk a lot, here again, I did not think that I talked a lot.
Right.
So, but I asked my family and my friends, I'm like, do I talk a lot? They're like, yes. I'm like, oh my God, girl, totally devastated. And I'm like, nobody never said anything. Nobody ever told me, I'm like, if I've been talking too much, but just sharing our positive attitude. I mean, how can we share? How can we exhort? We're exhorters. How can we exhort unless we speak, unless we talk, right?
Right. You've taught me. The exhorter or the encourager they're the mouth of the body, right? All of these beautiful gifts are part of the body. And so how can the mouth be heard if it doesn't open up? Now, mind you, sometimes we need to sometimes scale it back. But quite honestly, I was a quiet child. But it was some of it circumstantial. You have some situations and things where you just kind of, are less talkative, but I was always thinking. And so I believe that when opportunity, and I was always listening. So when opportunity afforded itself, and encouragers only say something when it's something of value. I won't say only, but we like to use our gift for valuable things. We're not just making needless, senseless banter.
We don't have time for all that.
No, or we'll just, we'll talk to ourselves, right? But no, we want to do it with purpose so that someone gains. It's not for our benefit.
Right.
Not at all.
And guess what? That's what the gifts are. The gifts are not for us anyway. The gifts are for someone else. And Absolutely. So I just want to just talk about these last little couple of gifts. We accept people for who they are. We don't try to make them be anything else, make them feel bad about who they are, where they are. You are where you are, and we, accept you for that. And that's why I tell you, we have so many friends, because people can respect and they like us or they love us for that characteristic, and this last thing, girl, is need a sounding board to bounce ideas off of. So, a lot of times that's what we have to understand. Exhorters, any exhorters listening, when you're trying to share an idea or a situation or anything, with your mate, with your spouse, and he acts and then he wants to offer some advice. And then now you guys are into an argument because you don't like his advice, because you really didn't want him to say anything. You just wanted him to listen. You know what I'm saying, Kim?
Yes. It's almost as if we think with our mouth as well. Sometimes we need to get it out of our vessel so that we could hear it. It's not so much that we need a solution or an answer. We just need to hear it. So almost as if we're working it through. And what we have to learn, and maybe some of us have learned, is that we have to maybe even give people the opportunity, or maybe kind of tell them up front, hey, I just want to share this with you. Don't want you to fix it. Just hear me. And there are going to be other moments where we do want some input, but most times we need a sounding board, someone to just hear it and to just receive it. It's part of what the exhorter does. Exactly. And once we know that, and once we express it properly to those who are in our world, it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing.
Girl, I absolutely love it. So, with that, I tell people, when you're in that situation and you need a sounding board, once you understand the gifts, call another exhorter.
Yep.
I know how to pick up that phone and call an exhorter or somebody who understands my gift and say, girl, you know what? That's good. That's as much as they're going to say. Or they be like, or girl, I'll send you back, some notes or some things. Let me think about what you just said. Whatever. But we love that. We love that. And the one that I knew I said the last one was going to be the last one. This one is going to be the last one. Right?
Okay.
But likes to clear up problems quickly. Now, I'm going to tell you, I'm big on that. And we call those confronters. And we're not saying confronting people in a bad way, but we just want to clear things up. You got an issue with me? Tell me what it is so we can clear it up, so we can keep it moving. Right. You don't have to be walking past me acting crazy, and I don't know what you're mad about. You know what I'm saying? So Let's talk about it. Let's get it out on the open. So, we can straighten it out. I apologize. You apologize. Whatever we need to do, and we can keep it moving. So, go ahead.
Cards on the table. Yeah. And because we're communicators, we want to make sure we're clear. So I'm gonna tell you what I feel, what I think, what I know, whatever that looks like, and give you that opportunity as well. And so that's what some people don't get, because they're like, well, why are you coming right at you? We want to resolve it if at all possible. Why let it linger and turn into something more than it needs to be? Let's address this topic. Let's agree, or let's agree to not agree, but we're going to get the issue addressed.
Well, I'm going to tell you, so this has been awesome. I can talk about our gifts all day long, especially this exhorter, because it's who I am 100%. And so I just wanted to say, guys, it's so important that you discover your gifts.
Absolutely.
It's not going to hurt. It's only going to make your life better.
Yes,
way
ma'am.
better that you even can imagine better. On every relationship level, from your kids to your spouse to your supervisor to your leadership at your church.
Yes.
Whether you are a leader, it's going to help you to have better relationships with your the people that are under you, that follow you. If you have an organization, you'll learn how to start putting people in the places where they go instead of putting them where you think they ought to go, or somebody telling you, well, I want to do that only because they see somebody else doing it and they figure it's going to make them, put them closer to you or whatever, or they feel like they got to have this type of status. No, you'll understand their gifts. They will work, and they will be joyful at it, and they will be excited about coming to work, about doing it every single day, every single week. And
Yes.
they'll be about the business of getting the work done.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
So in closing, Kim, will you please give a word of encouragement and empowerment to our listeners about discovering their gifts, unleashing their power, and how they can be happy and claim life?
Thank you, Kathy, for allowing me to share. I just really quickly, and I've used this acronym because I think it best describes. I want people to learn to dive in. And diving in means just once you have an opportunity to know your gifts, dive into using them to the utmost. So the dive, it's an acronym. The D is to discover. Discover your gifts. As simple as that. Discover who you are and be okay with that. So the discovery is the main component that sets off the pace for doing everything else moving forward. The second piece I like to add and dive is the I, to inquire. Inquire, that means just consult with other like-minded individuals, other people who know the gifts, other people who are moving forward in the direction that you're moving forward in a positive way. That means keeping kindred spirits, people who are, they don't have to do exactly what you do, but they're about doing something purposeful in this season. They're using the gifts they're given to move forward. So when you have kindred spirits around you, it gives you a home court advantage. It's like playing a game at home. You're more likely to win. And that's what we want people to do in life, is to win. The next, the D-I-V, the V, have a vision. And I was taught this too. Prepare your vision, whether it's personal, whether it's for business, for your family. Have a vision, a direction in which you want to go. That's part of your dive. Discover who you are. Inquire, keeping like-minded people in your village. And the V is to have a vision, what it is you want to accomplish. And also I always add in there the mission part of how you're going to execute it. And the E is just to execute. You can't do anything talking about it, dreaming about it, and not actioning it. What did you say? I think last year was like execute, execute, execute. It's time to do it. So everything that you dreamed of, everything that you imagined is possible, but you have to action it. God's not going to do it all for you. He's got the tools and he knows what you got in you, but it's on us to execute our dreams and to execute our passions and purpose to make them come to life. And discovering your gifts is priority number one in getting all that accomplished.
Awesome, girl. Thank you. Dive. I love it.
Take the dive.
Take the dive. I pray that you guys, really have enjoyed this segment. And I certainly have, Kim. So thank you so very much for being here with me this evening. I am super excited about this series and overjoyed about sharing the characteristics of the gifts, and that you will recognize who you really are, people. Get ready. Come on, take the dive. I will be sharing about the gifts, being transparent on how me and others that I know who are operating in their gifts applied them to their lives, just like I brought on Miss Kim tonight. Then how the gifts would change your life forever in a phenomenal way. The time is now. We have no more time. Time, once the time is gone, you can't get it back. So stop sitting around, being angry, mad, bitter about something that has happened in your past because of the fact that you can never get that time back. So do not waste another second, minute, hour, nor day. Position yourself to become, not just keep trying to be something you are not. All of this leads to encourage you to get past your past, discover your superpowers, which are your gifts, start unleashing your power into the earth, and feed your future. Feed your future. I mean, it is bright. It is so bright. So guys, thank you so much. Please remember to subscribe to the show to receive free giveaways, promotion announcements, newsletters, and more at uptomeradio.com, which is up, the number 2, meradio.com. If you want to chat about any of the topics on the show, feel free to leave messages and questions on my show page, and we will answer them on the next broadcast, or we will invite you to the next listening party for the show, and we can address them then personally. It's a lot of fun. All podcasts can be heard at uptomeradio.com, Apple Podcasts, and other free podcast apps. Like us on Facebook, on Instagram, and Twitter at UpToMeRadio. Join us for our next show as we continue our series on taking authority and unleashing your power. All right? Okay, family and friends. Thank you again for joining us tonight. And all I want to say to you right now is keep shining.